MLM Unlimited. Discussing unlimited MLM tips, tricks, concepts, and ideas.
Hey guys, welcome to MLM Unlimited. I'm Michael, and this is Charlene, of course, and we are now finally married, as some of you may have watched. Today we have on the call with us Anthony Vaughan. How are you doing today?
Doing well.
Good. All right. Do you want to tell people a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, I'll give you the quick version. I'm from an area called Abingdon, Maryland. It's kind of like looking at some land here. It's kind of like the country area, but I originally grew up in Baltimore, Maryland. So a lot of you guys may know it's a pretty rough city. Trying to figure out where I should start. Played football at West Virginia University and a school called Wesley College. Had a lot of success with that. Then eventually took a lot of the individuals that I knew from that university and then kind of led me to some Under Armour distribution executives, higher level people in that organization. Knew a lot of football agility coaches, a lot of people within the football industry. Started a football academy, grew that up. That eventually failed after 18 months. Went on to then build a couple more brands and then really kind of caught my stride with a consulting agency. That's the fast version of it. And hopefully we'll be able to dive deeper into it. But I always give this long, drawn-out version. I'm trying to speed up the process. So
right. I understand.
So you got into consulting. How did you start doing that?
Thanks. Yeah. So I'll lead it to that. So the football academy grew pretty quickly, pretty fast. Again, having the privilege to have a lot of those connections, a guy named Seth Mentor, which is one of the best agility coaches in the country, had a lot of access to a lot of kids. So it grew pretty quickly. And I had a CEO in place, I had a COO in place, I had a lot of people in place to help me out. I was 21 years old, didn't really understand anything about business. I was just kind of following the path, if you will. But I had a lot of great ideas and I had a lot of energy. But it failed after 18 months due to what I like to call relational intelligence, a lack of that, a lack of culture and leadership skills, a lack of how to understand how to allocate my money. To give you a very practical example, I had an account in Virginia. We were making probably $9,000 to $10,000 a month, and I wanted to take 80% of it. And I had no idea of the fact that despite the fact that I worked hard to land that account, most of the money should have been pushed back into marketing, pushed back into operations, put back into my staff. Didn't understand that and didn't really understand how to consistently add value. So the company fell apart. They were pretty upset with that lack of intelligence on my part, and they all left. So when that happened, that was pretty devastating to me. I wanted to understand more of relational intelligence, more of culture and leadership, and obviously more just about business because I obviously kind of knew a little bit, but I didn't know enough to kind of sustain it. So I went through 18 months of like hibernation mode of just like researching tons and tons of books, had like 17 notebooks filled with journals. And I kind of realized I was turning into a researcher. And so I put together a small team, started researching more content around high return practices, just practicality of entrepreneurship as a whole, behavior change, relationship mapping, a lot of things from the mental perspective. And something kind of clicked. I said, you know what? I built a pretty substantial business. I'm in the process of studying a lot. I know a lot. I think I have a pretty good voice. I think I can explain things pretty well. I think I want to start trying to, I don't want to say teach because I don't really believe in the business coach, but deliver some of the content and see if it helps out. So that kind of took its own form. Started understanding online branding and putting out content. And, about 2 years later, worked with 600 plus entrepreneurs, had an opportunity to start speaking at different universities and make some money and kind of rebranded Creation International, which was the name of it, into Cognizance Capital. So I guess to answer your question directly, I learned a lot about what I did wrong in the first business, and I wanted to help anyone within the 18 to 24 months of trying to build a business, how to not do what I did. And then obviously I've learned more and I'm in the process of building other brands now. And so hopefully that answered your question.
It did.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That was very good. With the entrepreneurs that you have consulted with and everything else, how many would you say percentage wise or numbers would you say are network marketers?
70%.
Really?
Yeah. They're starting to slow down now and we can potentially get into that later in the interview, but about 70%. So out of those 600, and that's a rough estimate, right? It's probably over that now. A good 400.
Wow.
Because I'd work with, like, you guys might have heard of Vima. I'd work with a group of 75 out of London. They'd put me up on this big jumbo screen, and I'd rant and talk to them on a monthly basis. So that's 70 there, you know what I mean? So that's, kind of how it went. But yeah, nice chunk of it.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
When the network marketers contact you, what do you think their main reason, what am I trying to say?
Issue
That they need help with?
I think they're trying to figure out the special button, the secret sauce of how to make a lot of money quickly. I think that's the big thing. I think also a lack of leadership on their end. Because if you think about it, a lot of uplines are just everyday people. They're not entrepreneurs yet, in my opinion. And a lot of them don't understand leadership, don't understand relational intelligence, don't understand emotional intelligence. And those are just fancy words of being a good person, understanding someone's someone's context, who they are, what they care about, and then figure out how to reverse engineer that to actually care and teach them things that are conducive to their strengths and not just teach them this cookie cutter system. And I know you guys are in the network marketing space, so let me try to say this respectively. That's, I guess, some of my issues is it's very cookie cutter. And I think it can be a cookie cutter with context. So this is what I mean. Like, if you teach someone how to generate leads, how to close, how to, show them the product or the service, whatever it's going to be, I think you need to also understand the strength. So for instance, I used to get on this team often. If a guy or gal does not have a comfort level of getting in front of a room of, let's say, 50 people that are potentially trying to get into the business, and you're the team leader, you're the upline, and you're going to get 20 or 30 of those people, I don't know if I'd put that individual in front of the room if they don't have a skill set in it. Because if I'm in the background, if I'm a consumer, potentially getting in the business, I don't know how comfortable I'm going to be seeing someone from the stage stuttering, not knowing what they're saying, not saying the correct things. I would put those that have a strength in speaking naturally in front of the room, and then I would also take that individual that I just jumped out there into the background and kind of work with them and see what their strengths are. Maybe it's blogging, maybe it's podcasting, maybe it's social media these days. Maybe they can hop out a different place and build their business in a different way. It doesn't have to be speaking in front of a group. So to answer your question again, it's definitely issues with their upline was a big one. Trying to get money quickly was a big one. And those two things are definitely probably the biggest issues I saw.
Okay. I'm glad you just mentioned that. The trying to get money quickly.
Yeah.
I love network marketing as a business, regardless of which specific company it is.
Yeah.
The reason we started this podcast and everything else. And I feel that a lot of problems with network marketing is when a company or an individual, an IBO, talks to a prospect and they show them the flashy lifestyle, the cars and everything else. And so they're like, oh yeah, I can do that. Well, they don't see the work that went into it.
Yep.
And so I'd have to totally agree with you that getting the money quickly, it's like, yes, it's possible, but it's going to take equal amount of work. You don't get money for nothing straight from the get-go. Like, it just doesn't happen.
And what's interesting? I mean, to cut you off. What's interesting too? I go deep into this thing I call mental models. That's pretty much just like understanding different things and like memorizing it fully so that it comes naturally. Whether it's like Holton Bugs, who is the guy from Organo Gold that's crushing it, or Eric Worre, or all those guys that are big, you got to remember, these guys came up in the 90s, in the mid 2000s. Business was different then. Network marketing was different then. Social media was not big. Personal branding was not big. So I guess what I'm trying to say is the way that they did it, I don't know if it 100% transfers over to the way it is now. And I think a perfect example for anybody, and I told you about this guy, I think on our call the first time we connected, Alex Morton, for anyone that is young or in their mid-30s or 40s, is a perfect example of someone in the network marketing industry that understood personal branding and online presence. And, putting themselves out to the marketplace of entrepreneurship and showing them that I'm an authority around personal development. I'm an authority and leader, if you will, around entrepreneurship content. And he didn't I guess, push so hard on, hey, get into my business. It was more of, here's who I am. Here's some creative videos, some creative content. And, I want you to be just as excited as I am. Come find out what I'm excited about. And so that was a little bit of a different, I guess, style. So that's something else that I thought was pretty interesting. Eric Worre, that was in the 90s, in the mid 2000s. Things were different then. And I don't think young entrepreneurs or, anyone that's thinking about network marketing can necessarily follow that path 100%. I think it's way different now. And I think they need to recognize that.
Right. I think a lot of people don't realize how young social media really is.
Yeah.
It's still very young, but when people talk to me about 10 years ago, I still think about the early 90s, so it's like, oh yeah, 10 years. No, that's not right at all.
That was 20. 20 years ago.
So, with the social media and the personal branding and everything, do you recommend for people to focus more on a personal brand than on their business that they are a part of?
Yeah. So I'm going to answer that question and kind of take it to another direction too. So for anyone thinking about going into network marketing, first and foremost, I think you need to think about what you want to take out of it. What do you want to extract from it? Do you want to collect people? So this is what I mean. Most people that I know that are either between 21 and 31 or 35 that are jumping into network marketing are looking for a stepping stone, if you will, to the entrepreneurial world, right? They have a thought of an actual business, like a traditional business they want to build. They have an inkling. They know that entrepreneurship is sexy. They want to be a part of it, but they see this is the easiest step, right? The stepping stone. So do you want to just collect those people, right? Like just collect a whole bunch of people that believe what you believe in, and maybe you guys go build an app. Maybe you guys go build a business. So that's an option. Or you build a personal brand where you are in that space and you're a leader. You're speaking about entrepreneurship. You're speaking about personal development. You're reading and studying more than anyone else. And then those that are in the network marketing world are going to realize that, repost your content, repost your blogs. And the next thing you know, someone that's not in the industry that was on their follower list or their friends list of someone who reposted your content are going to see it, wonder what you're so freaking excited about. And then that's an option as well. So I think the biggest thing is trying to realize what you want to jump into the business for is probably the biggest one. Money cannot be it. That can't be it, because if that's the issue or that's the case and you're trying to make a bunch of money in the first 18 months, I don't know where you're going to go to do that. Like it just doesn't exist. And if you do it, then, all hail to you, that's amazing. But, so that's the thing, right? So definitely branding, definitely personal branding, definitely creating content, video content, written form content, audio content around entrepreneurship and personal development, so that people that are not in the industry but are interested in entrepreneurship can realize and see what you're excited about. And then you can be in their in-group, right? Like you can understand where they're coming from because they care about entrepreneurship. You're not just trying to sell them your potion or lotion.
Right. That's good.
Hopefully that makes sense.
It does. Yeah. So if you could give a network marketer one piece of advice, what would you tell them?
I think the first thing that I kind of touched on briefly is know what you want to extract from it. Know that, ask yourself the question, it's a little bit of self-awareness. Ask yourself the question, do I want to be an Eric Worre? Nothing wrong with that. Is this it? Like, do I want to be a network marketer forever? Like, is this it? Is this going to be my career? If the answer is no, then figure out what you want to extract from it and figure out the timetable, how long it's going to take. What you need to know, like your competence. Like, do you need to know a bunch about entrepreneurship? Do you need to know a bunch about how to have leadership skills and relate to people? Do you want to kind of be more of like a Grant Cardone, which is like a sales expert? Network marketing is a great place to work on your sales skills and your closing skills. Do you want to be a great leader and just motivate people like Alex Morton is doing? He's now speaking in front of thousands of people under his own Alex Morton Mindset brand, getting thousands of dollars per speaking event. Do you want to just speak, create content, have a whole bunch of people within the network marketing world put you up on this big pedestal and then say peace, and I'm going to go do my thing? Nothing wrong with that. So figure out what you want to extract from it. If you want to stay there forever, or do you want to stay here for 5, 10, 15 years, and then map out, how you're going to get to that goal. Is it collecting people? Is it collecting competence? Is it making relationships with the top uplines? What is it? What are you really looking to accomplish in it?
Okay.
So you said that a lot of things have changed from what's the name? Eric Worre, is that right?
Worre?
How he did it so long ago. So now what do you think the future is in network marketing?
That's a good question. I'm gonna throw you guys for a curveball. I'm a little bit scared for it, actually.
Really?
So with the emergence of content, right? Social media content, entrepreneurs are kind of looked at as celebrities. Wouldn't you say?
Right.
It's a little bit different now.
Yeah.
Way different now, actually. Steve Jobs and Bill Gates were probably the first ones that were kind of like, oh my God, like they're, you know what I mean? Because they were so innovative. But now anyone that has a thought that created something cool is now a celebrity. And so they're kind of at the top of the mountain. So anything that they say, people are going to adopt those paradigms. People are going to listen to those words. So if you guys familiar with Gary Vaynerchuk?
Yes.
He keeps crushing network marketing. He keeps destroying it, like subliminally. He doesn't come out and say it directly.
Right.
Hang on an island, collecting passive income. Like he just keeps destroying it.
Yep.
All of these younger millennial entrepreneurs are hearing this content. And if you look at network marketing, it's definitely filled with 30, 40, 50-year-olds, but there's definitely a bunch of 20, 18, and 20-year-olds and early 30-year-olds that are looking to jump in as well. And I'm scared that if people like Gary Vaynerchuk keep screaming about how this is destroying the entrepreneurial world, like he gets really aggressive in it, I'm scared that you may not see as many take that risk. And you know what I also think? I don't think they really understand it. I think they keep reading the headlines of scams, and I don't think they really understand exactly what's happening, and I think they need to do their homework. So I think the future is anyone that does their homework can respect it and will continue to join. But those that are listening to the Gary Vaynerchuks of the world and all those others, they may not take that same risk. And I think it'll be more of what Alex Morton did as well. I think more entrepreneurs will realize that they can jump into network marketing for 12 months, be attractive, be a great speaker, build up a brand, and then branch off and make $100,000 a speech.
Right. So I totally agree with what you say about Gary Vaynerchuk. Actually, I was listening to his podcast on my way home today, or while we were just out a little bit ago. And it was one of the ones where he talks about people making money on the beach and, whatever. It's like, okay, you know exactly who he's talking about.
Yep.
He doesn't come out and say it. So there's a lot more network marketers than there are Gary Vaynerchuk. He's only one person. Now, granted, there's a whole lot of people in his still as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
There's a lot of network marketers in there. Just in the United States alone. What do you think we as network marketers can do, whether it's put out content or whatever, to kind of show the positive sides of network marketing? Because yes, there are some companies that get labeled a scam, and that's a whole nother story. But the majority of them that last, pretty much if they last over 5 years, they've been through the ringer. They're a legit company.
Yeah.
And every company gets sued for something every now and then, so you can't really look at that either. But if they last as a business for, I would say, 5 years or more, they're a legit company.
Yep.
How can we as network marketers show that image rather than, oh, it's a pyramid scheme or it's a scam or anything else?
Care. So what I mean by that is I think, because I just see it, man, like it's very irritating. I shouldn't have made the money that I've made in the network marketing space. I shouldn't be on this podcast right now. There's no reason why a consultant from the outside should ever have to come in and teach an upline about leadership, about relational intelligence, about culture. That shouldn't be happening. And it's been happening because there's so many uplines that don't care. So many uplines that are just trying to get money. So many uplines that are just trying to extract that. I don't know in your company, but some people get $39.99. Some people get $99.99 when someone signs up. Just trying to extract those little dollars. So I think what you do is you first care so that you can have word of mouth marketing. So anyone that talks bad about entrepreneurship in the network marketing space, they'll say, no, Bob really cares for me. He really understands my personal context. He really understands and values that I only want to be in here for 3 years and I want to be a DJ. And you know what he's doing? He's helped me understand network marketing to the best of my ability and his ability so that I can become a DJ or I can become, so I think caring is the first step, and then creating content and showing the reality of how you're caring. So maybe it's Snapchat, right? Maybe it's Facebook Live. Showing the reality. Don't make a video and like set things up. Let's show the reality of how you're actually caring about your people. Because I think that's one thing that is kind of under the radar that's giving the brand a bad image. Something else is it's the scam thing. Now I don't know how you guys are going to shake that, because that's been going on for years. Like that was even in the 80s and 90s and 70s. Like people have been hearing that for years. So I don't even know. I don't even have an answer of how you shake that, but I think caring will help you guys in the long run for the word of mouth marketing. Anyone that's thinking about entrepreneurship, they won't be hearing about how my upline's negative or my upline left or didn't care, because their upline will be right there walking with them every step of the way.
Right. I like that, because I actually heard something earlier yesterday, I think it was, that was talking about, if somebody talks to you and they say you talk to them about business or whatever, and, everybody's got their own different ways of asking people about business and things like that. And they say, well, is this network marketing? You turn back and say, yes, it is. Because if it was anything else, I wouldn't really mess with it, because, I've done my research on network marketing, and this is a good way to make an income.
Yeah.
And I think that when people hear that, they're expecting to hear, well, yeah, it's network marketing. And then all of a sudden they're pushed off. But when you say, yes, it is, and this is why, I think it tends to open their mind up to, okay, maybe I don't know everything I thought I did.
Yeah. And educating the market about why it's impactful and why it could be a good way to make some income, and how to do it the right way, and creating content around that. So it's really all about creating content nowadays, and making sure people understand it, and just showing the truth and actually caring. So a combination of all those. You're right on point with that.
So with social media, do you see any specific, well, not even necessarily whether it's Facebook or Twitter or social or Snapchat or whatever, do you see a specific type of media that's doing better than other things, whether it's video or audio or text?
I'll say this to kind of, and you've probably seen this a lot. They need to stop the videos of cars and girls and watches and money around this new Forex thing that's been going nuts.
Yes.
They need to stop that. Because if you want to look up the definition of entrepreneurship, it doesn't mean make $200,000 and blow $198,000 of it. Because I can tell you, remember my first story. I'm a clear example of a guy that made it, whatever you want to call it, and then screwed up financially, screwed up the relational intelligence thing, all that stuff. So if you want to be a smart businessman, first and foremost, please don't make $200,000 and then post yourself flying on a jet. Like, what are you even thinking? Like that doesn't even make sense. If you're gonna make $200,000, spend $100,000 of it on creative, on a full-time videographer, on running 1 million ads on blogs and your videos. Spend time sending your tribe members, your team, to a Tony Robbins event, to hiring someone like me, wink, wink. You know what I mean? Like seriously, like spend your time investing back in your business like a traditional business would do. Please don't separate yourself from the world of entrepreneurship by doing non-entrepreneurial activities. Yeah. So let me just say that. But so I definitely think video. If they can stop doing that, the video, the girls, the cars, the money, and just be real and show maybe do like a daily vlog of like the process, right, of learning about entrepreneurship, of learning about network marketing, about having, some of the house meetings or some of these calls that you're hopping on and trying to convince someone to do it. Show them reality and show them how you're just being genuine and real. So definitely video, because I think long form text or even short form text doesn't really do its justice, because they're just going to see that maybe there's a hashtag of network marketing, and then they're just going to, I don't want to see this again. And you know what I mean? So right. I think video.
So you mentioned the girls and the boats and the planes and everything.
Jesus Christ.
I actually, because I follow you on Snapchat and we have a lot of the same people that we follow and follow us and whatever. There's a Forex person that was on there and he's taking his $100 bills and throwing them down. And I was counting and I'm like, he probably pulled all that money out of his checking account today,
of course,
to take that video. So I wanted to do, and I just thought about it today, I wanted to do the video of a true entrepreneur and bring out like a roll of dimes or something and being like, yes, because all the rest of our money goes into the business.
Of course. Yeah, that would be interesting. I would watch that because I mean it's the truth. It's I don't know what that person's doing. Like I just don't understand it. I don't. You actually know what? I do know what they're doing. It's good marketing actually because they know that there's going to be a bunch of idiots. You know, pardon my French and being rude, but a bunch of idiots that are like, oh, that looks really cool.
Right.
Get that $48 or that $99 per person to jump in, and then that monthly. You know, they're going to love it, and they're going to get their little extra $200, $300, and they're going to be excited about that, and they're going to be able to have a little bit more money to pull out the bank and to show people that they have a few more $100 bills. So it's actually good marketing. Keep it up, actually. But that's horrible. Like I have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, it definitely gives a lot of network marketers a bad name when people see that and they know what it is and it's just a ploy. It's like, put your money back in your bank account.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
No idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I want to switch it up. So how long have you been a consultant?
So let me see here. A strong 2 years.
2 years.
Strong 2 years of doing it, actually having income. I worked with about over 100 plus for no money, consistently, because it was a different space, right? I was taking a bunch of content that some of it I actually never lived and just knew off the top of my head. And I wanted to test different ways of, delivering it. And, because teaching is different. Teaching is very different. So about strong 2 years.
What do you enjoy about it? Why do you do it? What is your why?
The reason why I do it business-wise is, so I like to collect people. So let me explain what that means. My services are probably 200 to 300% under market value. So a traditional consultant, you're not getting a decent one that knows their stuff for less than $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Normally, it's just pretty standard. They're looking for 70, 80, 90, 100, $150 an hour. They probably want to meet with you a few times a week, every week. And so the way I do it is I pretty much, let's say it was you guys, I pretty much look at your everyday expenses, or your business, either or. And let's say you make $5,000 in a month. Let's say you have $3,000 in overhead or life expenses. And then, there's maybe this $2,000 or $1,000 left over. I take a percentage of what's left. So it shows my clients that I actually care about your life. And I'm not just saying, hey, it's $10,000. I need it now.
Right.
The reason why I do that is because it gives me access to a lot more of potential clients. Now, what I want to do with those people is I want to collect them. I want to build a relationship with them, make them laugh, make them smile, have them trust me, give them information until selfishly, I'm being real with you guys, I see that their competence level is where I need it. And then, I know it sounds aggressive, I go in for the kill. I say, I have a great business idea for you guys. I have 75 business ideas over here. So I have a goal of creating 100 brands. I want to have percentages in 100 brands. I don't care about the money I make in my 20s or 30s. Around 45 or 50, I want to cash in my 8%, my 3%, my 4%. And I genuinely believe I'll make hundreds of millions of dollars then. So every single client, I have a business idea kind of locked and loaded for them once I understand who they are and their strengths. So some of them are speaking type businesses. Some of them are actual products, apps, ice creams. I don't know. There's just a bunch of ideas that come to my head. I write them down. I have a little journal. And then once I really understand a client, I'll only work with them for 6 months. I won't work with them for any longer. And then I'll deliver that business idea. Now, the network marketing is different. Those clients, again, the selfish reason is I want to provide so much value for them and have them understand so much more about entrepreneurship so that hopefully that leads me onto more network marketers. So that's kind of why I do it from a business standpoint. Now, from a personal and how I feel, that's a little bit different too. I made a lot of mistakes when I was younger. I grew up in Baltimore, got in a lot of trouble at 19, got a lot of trouble at 20, got a lot of trouble at 18. And so every single time I build a business or every single time I do an interview like this, I kind of think back, I'm like, wow, this is kind of neat. I'm I'm literally reshaping myself. I'm really creating what I want in real time. And I'm, pretty much pushing back the person that I was, like, totally erasing that person. And it feels good. So, I was never really someone that was obsessed with entrepreneurship. I still to this day, I don't know, it sounds probably weird. I really don't care about entrepreneurship as a concept. I just like to keep creating something that does not remind me of who I used to be. I like to keep creating the opposite of, you know what I mean? So that's kind of my truthful answer. And every time I do that, I feel a lot better about myself. So
I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, seems to be working out for you. So just keep doing that.
Yeah, that's the reality of it. So it's a different answer. A lot of people are like, yeah, I've been selling lemonade or I was doing these baseball cards. And I'm like, no, I don't know. I was just a pretty bad person. So every time I do something positive or nice or hop on a podcast or add value or learn something new, I just feel completely opposite of who I was. And that kind of just keeps me going. So,
right.
Yeah.
So with a lot of the training that you do, I've noticed on your videos and stuff that, and sometimes on your Snapchats, but not always, you have, of course, Steve Jobs there in the background.
Yeah.
So, would he be I would say, what do you call it? Would he be one of the top people that you look up to in the field, or is there other people that you look towards more?
Steve Jobs to me has a lot of creativity. That was something that I didn't really know a lot about, and then I kind of went and researched more about it. Steve Jobs had a lot of creativity, a lot of innovative ideas. And he was so much in the sky, I feel, like with his ideas, that he had a little bit of arrogance that he pushed hard for those ideas and he believed in them a lot. And so I'm a big fan of like adopting paradigms. And so actually, here's a tip for anyone listening or for anyone that's going to be listening. If you want to like change quickly, like behavior change, just adopt the paradigm, just adopt the perspective and test it out for 6 to 7 weeks. And not to get too nerdy, but your brain will eventually pick up the patterns of what that perspective is. It'll just get programmed to your subconscious mind. You'll start to create explicit memories. I'm starting to get too geeky, but long story short, I adopted the paradigm of him. He was just such a different thinker, and he pushed so aggressively on it. So that's kind of how I am now with a lot of more of my more business stuff that I kind of talk about and work with and try to build. I adopted that from him. My real time though mentor, I guess you would say, or someone I look up to, is Gary Vaynerchuk. And you probably heard that a bunch. Now I'm going to say something very direct, and I'm not going to curse because sometimes I curse.
You're all right.
And we've heard it all.
Yeah. There's too many people getting excited about Gary, meaning going to his videos or going to his events or his keynotes and waiting in the background, waiting to get an autograph, waiting to get his book signed, all these different things. I'm that guy in the back of the room that's just sitting there staring at him, trying to figure out how I'm going to dethrone him, trying to figure out what I'm going to steal from you, trying to figure out what new products you got coming out soon so I can come out with it faster. That's who I am. I'm not trying to shake your hand, get excited, get your autograph, hop on a blab and talk for the next 75 minutes and talk about ideas that I'm never going to implement. That's not my style. I know that sounds very aggressive and like asshole-ish, but that's not me. So I just wanted to get that out the way because everybody's loving Gary Vaynerchuk right now and doing what I just said. They're not taking his concepts and his paradigms and adopting them and practicing them. They're just saying, Gary, I love it. You're motivating me. So besides that dude's a genius. Like if you listen very carefully to what he's saying, he knows his stuff and it can be applied to any business. And I listen very closely. I've made a lot of money because of some of the things that he talked about. And that's someone that I really respect. And I've adopted a lot of his perspectives. I've adopted his, some of his speaking styles, his keynote styles. All my speaking now is all Q&A because of him. And it's because I think I could pull it off because I have enough information in here where I can just start rattling it off and ranting. So that's my guy right now. Yeah.
All right. That's pretty much it, right?
Yep, we're good.
Okay. So if you want to tell people how they can contact you, things like that, and I'll have it all linked up. And
yeah. Facebook, I have a lot of content. So under Anthony Vaughan, Vaughan, or you can go to Cognizance Capital Consulting. You can find a lot of content there. Medium, I have a bunch of blogs. People don't actually know about that. I have a bunch of blogs on Medium, actually. Snapchat, I'm trying to get a little bit heavier on. Sometimes you'll find out I don't do anything for like 4 days, so I'm trying to get a little bit heavier on that. Instagram, I have a lot of content on there. What else we got? Twitter, I'm doing a lot of engaging. Not so much content, but I'm trying to answer a lot of questions, trying to give a lot of value on there. So those are the platforms.
Okay.
YouTube.
Real quick, you also mentioned Instagram. What do you think about Instagram's videos? The what is it?
The Instagram stories.
Yeah. What do you think about it?
Okay, so again, and this is like the explicit memory, like mental models. Hold on, because I listen to so much information. I'm trying to like piece it together. So what I think is going to happen, this is interesting. What I think is going to happen is I think Snapchat's going to slow down, not from what Gary was saying, because I watch it daily. I don't see that angle. What I see is I see companies, and maybe he talked about this actually. I see companies and brands and influencers having more potential on social on the Instagram stories, because you now have access to everyone's stories, everybody's. You know how hard it is to find people sometimes on Snapchat?
Oh, yeah.
Now you have everyone's stories. And if you have an interesting product or you're an influencer, you have a bunch of people looking at your Snapchat stories every day. Like, oh, look at my new phone case, guys. Live. Come get it. Like, that could be an influencer for a phone case company, right? Like, so, and then like Coca-Cola and like, you know, all these different brands that are already starting to promote on Snap. I think they migrate over because there's so much more people. It already has a bigger foundation than Snapchat because it's older. And then there's so much more access to people because you see everyone's stories.
And people are already connected on Instagram. You know, if they're following a company or whatever, they've been following them for a while on Instagram.
Yep.
And Instagram's easier to search for people to find them than it is on Snapchat.
There's no search on Snap.
Exactly. So yeah, I think they kind of robbed it from Snapchat pretty straight up, but I think it's a lot of potential there.
And here's the other thing too that's scary. So you guys seem like you're intelligent enough to understand, because some people don't realize it. You guys know that when you make an app, you have an investor pretty much babysit you and like give you money, like for you to live. Like you're not making money until you start generating ads or you sell it.
Right.
And so I know they just started making ads like 8 months ago, but so they're probably making millions of dollars a month, which is great. Like, don't get me wrong, but like to be like a tycoon and sell it for $2, $3, $4 billion, they lost that opportunity, in my opinion. Who are you gonna sell it to? Facebook doesn't need to buy it anymore. Facebook has Instagram.
Exactly.
Who are you gonna sell it to now? Twitter doesn't want it.
Nope.
They can't even afford it. Twitter's in a bad place right now. So who are you gonna sell it to?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. That's and I heard somewhere that the Discover section on Snapchat, those companies are paying $100,000 a day to show up there.
So it was more money than what I just said, but still.
That's a lot of money. But again, who are you going to sell to now that Snapchat or the Instagram has something extremely similar? Your point right there of the big sell it and go, I don't think the option's there anymore.
It's literally not there. Mark Zuckerberg gave them an offer a year ago and said, I'll give you $3 billion for it. They said no. He said, oh, okay. I have the infrastructure and the staff to create exactly what you guys have. And I have more people on Instagram. And I own Instagram.
Right.
So I'll just do it. I don't know, man. I feel bad because from a business standpoint, you know, those tech guys are looking for every opportunity to cash out and make that 200 billion, 300 billion. You know, I mean, they're always looking for ways to do that.
Right.
So it's not happening. I'm sorry, I don't want to laugh, but it's not happening.
Yep. I feel you. That's when that came out, I was like, wait a minute, hold on. And I instantly updated Instagram and I messaged her. I'm like, you're not going to believe this.
Yep.
No.
So yeah, it's and it's a little bit cleaner. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't played with it too much. It seems a little bit cleaner. Some of the graphics you can put on it seem a little bit cooler.
Right. I don't know if there's a a difference between a business profile and a personal profile. Because like if you watch Gary Vaynerchuk's story, he throws up like little videos of stuff that that he didn't just record. Like it's been edited and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I got to look more into that and see how they're doing.
Snap?
No, on Instagram.
Okay, Snap, you can do that too. But on Instagram, you give analytics. You get analytics now. So Facebook gives you amazing analytics. Tells you where the people are from, how long did they watch the video for, what their ages are, what their interests are. They give you all that on Instagram now for free.
Huh.
So when you post a video now, you get to see everything. How old they are, how long they watched it, where they from.
Wow. Yeah.
But you can try to change it up.
I guess I know what else I'm doing this weekend.
But yeah, guys.
Well, it was good talking to you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys. Yeah, it was finally good to do this.
Yeah, I'm glad we finally were able to. That was a heck of a summer, let me tell you.
Yes, sir.
So,
But
do you have anything else for us?
no, I was just gonna say I haven't got a chance to check you guys out too much yet. Where do you guys usually put this up? Do you guys have a website? Is it on YouTube?
We do have a website. It's MLMunlimited.com. We also put them up on YouTube. I take short bits of it and edit it and put it up on Facebook and on Snapchat. Facebook and Twitter. I've also been putting some of them up now on Instagram. Just the short little 1 minute and a half answers, things like that. So it's pretty much all over. Anywhere I can put a video out, and it's on iTunes for the podcast.
Oh, awesome. Cool, man. I'll definitely whenever you upload it, let me know, and I'll definitely help promote it, man.
Outstanding. I will. Appreciate it.
I appreciate your time, brother.
Yep. All right. Have a good one.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.